We are live. It's like, what the fuck just happened? I just did like a creepy move. All of a sudden, I just like rolled up from below, you know, like I was fucking asleep down there. I thought it was a creepy move. It's the ROB Black Show, and all creeps are off here. Hey, you know what? The YouTube channels are down below, so in order to configure what's going on YouTube, I have to get on the ground like I'm fucking blowing circus seals and shit. So fuck. So it's weird. You know, it's weird. And I'm not an internet person. I'm not a computer geek. I'm not tech savvy. I'm none of those things. For Christ's sakes, you know. But what I can't comprehend is why is it that with the internet, in a span of 5 hours or 6 hours, you leave for the night, or you leave the internet alone, and within a 5-hour span, the fucking internet logs you off your Wi-Fi. It fucking re-jumbles all your fucking codes. It's just a fucking nightmare. Why is that? Why does it happen with the internet that basically when the internet and your shit is sitting idle, everything is haywire? When we came in, everything is haywire. So we were here at Jesus Christ, 3 minutes to midnight, 3 minutes to noon, and the ROB Black Adult FYI feed was on, and you guys heard the new Metallica song, Lords of Summer. But the YouTube feed wasn't on. It took like another 7 minutes to try to get the YouTube feed going, because the YouTube had all the jumble codes. Not necessarily YouTube, but the internet. It was basically had to be rebooted, repowered up. I don't get that. Anyways, I'm looking at our YouTube feed now, and I'm adjusting the camera because it's a little funky. I'm actually going to try something different. How's that? It's actually a little more to there, because if I walk this way, you're going to not see me as much. So, how about if I do that? How about if I do that? Does that work? It's not that. It's not that bad with the. So I come in. It's not bad. Jesus. I know. I'll move it up a little. I'll cut hair. How's that? Does that work? Just a cunt hair? Does that work? Yeah, it's not bad. There. And I can still communicate here. I can still do this. Works. All right. It's the ROB Black Show. For you guys, hopefully, last night we went off without a hitch. Last night's show, we had no problems. I was on the phone with tech support all late afternoon yesterday after the goddamn program, and we were flawless. And in case some of you have iPhones, templates, I always call them templates. Some of you have iPhones, if some of you have tablets, some of you have these types of things. We are available on them now. We've had this discussion a billion times before. We've had this discussion a billion times before. Okay, but Jesus Christ, androids. Let's see what else. Trying to think. You got the androids. What else do we have? Androids. The Noah key. The Noah key. Yeah, isn't that it? The Noah key? Yeah, the fucking Noah key. I'm trying to read off what they told me we would be on. The Noah key. That new phone that everybody's going crazy about. That goddamn, maybe it's called the Noah key, I don't know. But we're on all the devices now, so everything should be fixed. Doesn't mean we're not going to have more issues at any time, because of course it's technology, and the technology that we have is fucking cock and balls in this fucking building. So we'll see. But anyways, we're doing good. We had a great night show. We're kind of back into full motion. And aside from this morning coming in and having the internet and all of our settings all fucked, we're up and good, and we're going. So it's the Rob Black Show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on this Wednesday, March 19th, 2014. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 2014. Already March 19th. Can you fucking believe that? It's already March 19th. Baseball starts this weekend. The Dodgers open up in Australia. I think it's Saturday they open in Australia, playing at the cricket stadium there. Cricket. You've seen cricket, right? It's that faggy game Australians play. Yes, well, that is where the Dodgers will be, I think, playing the Diamondbacks. I think it's the Diamondbacks that they'll be playing in the Australian World Championship Stadium. So it's amazing that fucking baseball's starting already. God damn. Baseball's starting already. What else is starting? Oh, we talked about this on our night show. I should take a look and see if there's any, what the news was. I feel like a putz that that I didn't even check. Well, because if it's not on TV, then who fucking cares? You know? Anyways, arena football, ladies and gentlemen, started this past weekend. Yes, arena football started this past weekend, and our beloved LA Kiss won, baby. LA Kiss won, baby. 41-38. Yes, the LA Kiss won. Very excited about that. The LA Kiss outlasted the Talons. Fucking badass, man. That was Saturday. Yeah, baby. LA Kiss kicker Kenny Spencer connected on a 35-yard field goal as time expired to give the LA Kiss their first win in franchise history. 41-38 over the San Antonio Talons. Woo! The first points in KISS history came at the 10:44 mark in the first quarter as quarterback J.J. Ratternick found Donovan Morgan for a 21-yard scoring strike to put LA on top 7-0, baby. Yeah! Woohoo! Fucking A, man. I'm telling you. I'm fucking big action on the arena football this year. Fucking, it's gonna be big action. Fucking KISS! Yes! Fuck! That's great! You guys, that's fucking awesome! And I'm going. We're all set to go for the next arena game. Well, it's actually going to be the home opener for the KISS. And they're playing on March 21st, which is, what is it, Friday or Saturday? And that will be against the Orlando, fucking KISS, man. Woo! Be playing Orlando, in Orlando, ladies and gentlemen. And that is on the 21st. And then on week three, they have a bye. Not a bye like bisexual, but just a bye in their schedule. And then, of course, coming up on 4/5/2014, Portland will be at Los Angeles, and that game will be at 7 o'clock at night, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be in the Anaheim Stadium. What's that? The Honda Center. And I am going. Yes, I'm going. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be badass, and that will be the arena debut of the KISS team. And of course, Katie Summers has never seen an arena football game, and she'll be treated to a spectacular excitement. So, badass, man. I thought fucking we were gonna have the kid from. I thought we were gonna have the kid that played in Hawaii, part of the NFL or the arena KISS team. What happened, man? I never heard of this kid from the arena KISS team. I never heard of that kid. Whatever his fucking name is. That upsets me a little. I was hoping we'd see the Colt Brennan. I didn't know that that we would only see a guy I never fucking heard of. And that's kind of upsetting. But hey, I guess it is what it is. Fucking LA KISS, baby. 1-0 in the National Conference West Division. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited. It's fucking very exciting news. So, I was going to talk about that. Yes, I was actually going to talk about it Monday, but we got into other shit. So, we didn't get into the arena stats. So, that's kind of, that was upsetting. That was upsetting. Sorry, guys. Oh, man. Anyways, that's my arena football update. Trying to see if I could give you guys the league leaders after game one. People are like, who gives a fuck? It's arena football, Rob. Listen to me. Let me explain something to you guys. When you're a football fan, it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't fucking matter what kind of football you're watching. But I'm looking at the passers, looking at the court passers. It sounds so old. I'm looking at the quarterbacks, and I've never heard of any of the goddamn quarterbacks. I've never heard of them. Normally you get one or two guys that played in college that you're like, oh, I heard of that guy. He didn't make the pros, but I heard of him. Nah, not the case here. Not one fucking guy that I've heard of. I got Nick Davila, Randy Hippard, R.J. Archer, Tommy Grady, Dan Rattenborough, Mitch Mustaine, Kurt Rocco, Chris Deeker, Carson Kaufman, and Eric Meyer. Not one fucking guy I've ever fucking heard of. Not one guy. Rushing leaders: Derek Ross, Jason Boltis, Chris Deeker, Culver McGriff, Kurt Rocco, Alex Singleton, Callie Padkin, J.J. Payne, Dexter Jackson, and Michael Benson. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Never heard of any of them fuckers. Normally, you get one or two NFL guys that played and got cut, yeah, nothing. You get a big ball of shit. You got to go. We got nothing. You got to go. The big player that is, and I don't even know if he's even playing anymore, is Aaron Garcia. He was like the big, the famous arena guy, but I don't even think he's playing anymore. He was in 2030. He's got to be playing. I don't even fucking know. Anyways, there's your arena football update, guys. What do you think of that? Are you guys excited? I didn't think you were. All right, it's the ROB Black Show, giving you your arena update. There it is. There's your fucking arena update. Anyways, that was something that I wanted to touch on, and now I touched on it. Next. Here's something pretty interesting, and I was going through it last night, and I was trying. Here, let me explain. We're doing our Roku channel, and I've explained this before. And what I mean by a Roku channel, it's not your traditional bullshit. Here's a bunch of porn. Let's throw it up there. This is actually a ROB Black TV Roku channel that has nothing to do with pornography, so to speak. And what I mean by that is there's no blowjobs, there's no anal fucks, there's nothing of that sort. Because what we're doing is having a mainstream channel that's available in the store, in their channel store that sits along Netflix and sits along Amazon, and it's a mainstream channel. And in order to have that available in the store, you cannot have people blowing each other. You can't have pornography. You can't have stupid shit like that. So it can be sexy. It can show a girl in a bikini and things like that, but it can't have anything that is girls getting fucked up their assholes and pornography. Can't have anything that you would see on Eat Fuck, or where girls are having psychotic breakdowns and getting in fist fights with Dirty Harry. Can't have any of this stupid shit. Can't have people eating shit. None of that stuff is acceptable to the Roku community and 4 or 5 million people that have a Roku device. So we're in the process of basically building this mainstream channel that will be able to beam out to the masses the Rob Black entertainment. And you ask what that entertainment is. You have the Rob Black TV show. You have the Rob Black books. You have XPW wrestling. And you have sexy girls. Sexy girls. And you have sexy girls. So while we're building this, I'm sifting through all of the old bits that we've done here on the Rob Black Show. And I'm literally sifting through countless hours of bits that we've done, bits that we've never put up on TV before. And it's just an immense archives of entertainment. And when I mean entertainment, it's good shit. It really is. Some of the stuff we have on the YouTube channel, the Rob Black Show YouTube channel. Some of the stuff we have on the RobBlackShow.com page. That's the RobBlackShow.com. And some of the other stuff we have on AdultFYI.com. And going through and sifting through all this material and deciding what stuff we want to put up on the Roku channel and what stuff we're going to put up on the YouTube channels and what stuff we're going to put up on the pay service that will have adult content on it as far as the internet goes. It makes me go through all of these bits, video blogs, and makes me wonder what the fuck happened to a lot of these issues, a lot of these stories, a lot of the things that we had talked about in the past that is either never got a resolution or just faded away into being swept under the rug. And it's amazing at how many issues the adult business has had since I've been on the air. And come this month, on the 31st, will be exactly 1 year that we've been on the radio / television. It will be exactly 1 goddamn year. Just pretty fucking amazing. And I think we've come a long way from being in this tiny little office in Glendale where I'd sit at a glass desk and I had long hair and I would talk. And it was quite entertaining about the things that we talked about and how we would spend 3 hours breaking down disease, or spend 3 hours talking about Steve Hirsch and Honey Boo Boo, and 3 hours how we would break down the agents and go one by one. And that evolved into the show breaking down into segments. And the first half hour would be a segment on my life. Another half hour would be a segment on Honey Boo Boo, and fucking going into the second or third hour would be about Vivid, whatever the hell it is. And it was interesting to see how we evolved, and especially how things kind of took another turn when it came to December. And I cut my hair, and I stopped all the antidepressants, and I stopped marijuana and alcohol, and just all that crap. And so this show has really gone through this metamorphosis, and it's been quite enlightening and revealing when I look through, I don't know, 75 bits of what the fuck was going on in this past year, and what has become of so many of these things. So I kind of was thinking last night, I said, you know, I want to talk about a bunch of these things and take a stroll down memory lane and ask ourselves, what happened to some of these things? What happened to some of these issues? Did anything ever get resolved? Did anything ever come out of it? And it's amazing how this industry works, where you bring up issues that are extremely, extremely important as far as people's health or business or just in the overall formation or creation of organizations and things that happen, and their lack of people doing anything, responding, or following through. And this industry has a real long track record of talking tough, or they say talking the talk, but nobody wants to walk the walk. And let's break down a couple of these issues that were prevalent in the industry. And at the end of the day, we've gotten no resolution on a fucking thing. And that is surprising to me. Well, you know what? I take that back. It's not surprising. It's exactly what you would expect from a slew of people that are in charge of an industry, and basically they do nothing, they've done nothing, and they continue to make up lie after lie after lie, and basically create bullshit. And that's what they do. So let's take a look at some of these stories and some of the things that were topics that, again, we never, ever saw any type of action on whatsoever. I would say one of the top issues was the Alex Gons hepatitis C and Free Speech Coalition, Christian Man, and Diane Duke lack of response. Now, what I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, is this. And let me give you a brief history. About 6 months ago, there was a huge incident in this business that involved Lisa Ann, Alex Gons, Derek Hay at LA Direct Models, and technically Free Speech Coalition / Talent Testing Services / cutting-edge testing. And basically, in a nutshell, Lisa Ann was set to be booked to work with Alex Gons. And when the time came that they were to work together, she basically asked to see Alex Gons' battery of health tests, from his HIV test to his gonorrhea test, down to his hepatitis C test. And at the end of the day, Alex Gons did not provide a hep C test. Now, there was a period of time, and again, anytime there's a health crisis in our business, everybody gets hypersensitive, and everybody storms around and screams and talks a big talk. And after about a month, it all blows over, gets swept under the rug, and then it goes back to business as usual. That's how it's always been. That's how it always will be. It will never change, ever. And those of you who think it will change, you're in fucking la-la land. And Governor Chris Christie can sell you a bridge. And it's in New Jersey, and it's called George Washington. So there was this period of time where the industry was testing for hepatitis C. And basically, you could stay out of the picture for a month or two and skip the requirements to get the test, and then come back into business, and then you were fine. So ultimately, Lisa Ann was tipped off by someone, and that was always the debate. People said, who tipped her off? I was accused of tipping her off. Other people were accused of tipping her off. But at the end of the day, it had been known pretty well in the circles of the porn industry, if you were part of the who's who, that Alex Gons had hepatitis C. He was the boyfriend of a well-known porn actress at the time named Gracie Glam. And Gracie Glam subsequently had told people that Alex was hepatitis C in private circles. So it was one of those kind of gays in the military, don't ask, don't tell type of situations. So when Lisa Ann was set to work with Alex, she asked for the tests. Alex provided all of the tests except for hepatitis C. And at the end of the day, she outed Alex Gons for his lack of hepatitis C and the fact that he had hepatitis C, and if he had a test, the test would confirm that he had hepatitis C, and he was still going to work with Lisa Ann, and more importantly, he had been working with hundreds and hundreds of talent in this business with hepatitis C. So when this story broke and it came out, basically Alex Gons flew the coop, left, basically gone, like fucking just middle of the night, man, just like the Malaysian Airlines, gone, vanished, and nowhere at any time did the Free Speech Coalition, Diane Duke, Christian Man, ever speak on this issue. They never had a press conference. They never had any official statements in the press. And yet, them two are responsible back then and still responsible now for the talent testing procedures that go on in this business. They are in charge of what happens day to day at all of the clinics. They run a system called PASS, that basically is in cahoots with all of the different testing clinics that are either talent testing services or cutting edge, and smaller ones that are controlled by Peter Ackworth in San Francisco of King fame, and so forth and so on. And never once did they ever talk about this situation. And it was a huge situation. I mean, it was something that was covered on AVN, believe it or not, or I should say Man AVN, Man-Win AVN. It was covered on XPiz. It was covered here extensively. It was covered on a Mike South website. It was covered on Luke is Back website. It was basically something that was covered on all of the internet and news sources for the adult entertainment business. Now, as this died down and people seemingly forgot about Alex Gons and the hepatitis scandal, and Christian Mann and Diane Duke basically hid from any types of questions or issues that arose from this. You had Alex Gons pop up about a month later, this time with the world's scummiest, just king of lowlifes, and that's Derek Hay. And Derek Hay popped up, who is the agent and owner of LA Direct Models. Also, he is involved with an escort agency called LA Companions. I think it's LA Companions. I think that's what it's called. Again, you know, a lot of this stuff, I think, let me see, LA Companions. I think it's, oh man, Companions. I think it's something like that. You know, the Luxury Companion, that's it. The Luxury Companion. Derek Hay is involved with the Luxury Companion with a man by the name of Dave and a woman by the name of Karen. So this group of just fucking sleazeballs basically popped up with Alex Gons in tow. And Derek Hay informed everybody that he and Alex Gons did nothing wrong, and that Alex Gons has had hepatitis C for basically since he was a little kid, and he got it through either a blood transfusion or was born with it, and he had been working in the business for over 8 years with it, and he was cleared by the talent testing services and cutting edge testing. Basically, he'd been cleared by the industry testing protocols and the people that run the organizations, and so in turn he can't be at fault for working with this deadly disease, because ultimately cutting edge testing approved it, and the people at PASS knew about it, and ultimately Free Speech Coalition would have known about it, Diane Duke would have known about it, Christian Mann would have known about it. And so everybody, don't be mean to Alex, and I did nothing wrong as his agent, Derek Hay, and he's going to leave now and go back into exile. So just like that, Alex Gons, poof, vanished and went back into hiding. We haven't heard from him since. He came in to tell everybody and inform them who was involved, who was responsible, who wasn't responsible, throw the appropriate people under the bus, let the appropriate people off the hook, and then just like that, he was gone. And just like that, the debate raged on again, and for weeks, that is what filled the press, to the point where Alex Gons actually had a quasi press conference with Derek Hay as his spokesman and Mike South, AVN, and XBiz. And all these people answered and questioned Alex Gons, and Alex Gons answered, and these interviewer people questioned. And ultimately, what you got was a bunch of people talking in circles. And at the end of the day, it was a lot to do about stuff that nobody was going to do anything about, because still, as this raged on, you never heard once from Christian Man, Diane Duke, Free Speech Coalition, or PASS. And after all these interviews, after all these people spoke, after all the talent was questioning if they should get hepatitis testing, if they should get stuff, that ultimately their leadership in the form of Christian Man, Diane Duke, Free Speech Coalition, PASS, should have been talking about and counseling these people. Those groups did nothing. And so guess what? The issue got swept back under the rug, and to this day, nobody has talked about it. Nobody has brought it up. Nobody has thought to even touch on it again. And ultimately, it is a done issue. Who knows how many people in this industry have hepatitis C? Alex Gons worked with hundreds of women, and one can only imagine how many people could have possibly contracted this disease. You can get it from blood to blood. You can get it from anal sex, anal tearing, which is something that almost 99.9% of the girls in this business engage in anal sex to a point where at some time during the scene, their asshole is torn a little bit and there is a little bit of blood. We all know, and we've all been there, who are shooters, that during anal scenes, whenever there's a break and a girl baby wipes, there is a good 75% chance that when that girl takes that baby wipe and cleans herself off, there's always a little bit of pink on that baby wipe. And that little bit of pink means torn membranes, and that means disease can happen. So hepatitis C and Alex Gons, we've never heard from. Christian Man never spoke about it. Diane Duke never spoke about it. Free Speech Coalition never spoke on it. And PASS never spoke on it. And it was swept under the proverbial rug. I found that story incredibly fascinating and interesting. I actually read the articles that Tom Byron wrote about this, and they were fascinating at how detailed they were, and the fact that nobody to this day has been held accountable for how this could have happened. amazing. Another issue that was brought up and nobody managed to want to address this, which was Mr. Marcus, and was, we would call it syphilis gate. And now, Mr. Marcus, if those who don't know, basically contracted syphilis. Yeah, syphilis, the disease that the United States government conducted on black people back in the 70s and infected them with this the sex disease, and it was known as the Tuskegee experiment. And it's something that is prevalent in the black community, and more importantly, it's actually a disease that had never really come into the porn world before Mr. Marcus brought it in. We had never heard of it before, or at least somebody getting it. The closest thing we'd ever come to something crazy like that was a gonorrhea, a staph, a fucking meningitis. Never had I ever heard of somebody coming down with syphilis. Well, lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marcus had syphilis, and he knowingly worked with syphilis, and the Free Speech Coalition, Christian Man, Diane Duke, they basically backed Mr. Marcus's assertion that he never knew. And as the chips started to add up, and they had press conferences where they trotted Mr. Marcus out on stage, a Christian Man held hand in hand with him and hugged him and kissed on him and basically loved him. It was later found out that Mr. Marcus knew he had syphilis. He purposely faked his tests and knowingly worked and kept working in the adult industry with giant syphilitic sores on his cock, to the point where there were historic pictures that were going out with him and a girl by the name of Lilith LaFay. And they have pictures of Lilith LaFay having Mr. Marcus's syphilitic riddled cock in her mouth, smiling away as if it was absolutely nothing, as if it was the greatest, awesomest cock in the entire world. Well, Mr. Marcus was actually prosecuted for this. He was sued for this. And ultimately, Christian Man and Diane Duke and the Free Speech Coalition had to backtrack on what they knew about Mr. Marcus and when they knew about it, because ultimately they were held responsible because they were part of this. They were part of this controversy of trying to hide it. They were part of this controversy with Dr. Mayow of trying to basically hide what had happened. And the industry was told that Mr. Marcus didn't infect anybody, which we all said was a lie. And you all say to me, well, how do you know it's a lie? And I say, because I produced evidence. I got my hands on a test from one of the talents in this adult business who was infected by syphilis by Mr. Marcus. We posted these tests on our website, adultfyi.com. We put them up as the skin of the web page, so you could actually see where the talent's name was crossed off with a black magic marker, and You then could see the disease, which was syphilis, when they were treated, how they were treated, and the fact that they would always have this in their blood because it was something that doesn't go away. Now, they can't pass it on to people because once you take the medications and the disease is eradicated, it is not contagious anymore, but it's something like herpes will always be with you like bad luggage. So we produced this we produced this paperwork and explained to everybody that the lies that the Christian Man Free Speech Coalition, Diane Duke, and the head brass of the adult industry were telling you were lies. We also explained to you and pointed out to each and every one of you the countless girls from different agencies that mysteriously retired from the business or retired from doing girls or from doing guys. And there was a chunk of them from Mark Spiegler's agency. You had people that just kind of vanished. You had people like Andy Sandemus that out of the blue stopped doing guys. And you had Christina Rose that all of a sudden stopped doing guys. And then you actually had Remy LaCroix, who was a Spiegler girl who straight up retired and said that her health was so much more important than the adult industry, and that she had fun, but putting her life at risk wasn't worth it anymore, and she was getting out of the business. And of course, subsequently, ladies and gentlemen, about 3 months later to 4 months later, when all of the syphilis hysteria died down, and more importantly, when all the people that were dosed with syphilis, who had to have doctor notes to explain to producers and directors that they indeed had syphilis, but they were treated for syphilis, and that they would always have it testing in their blood, but this doctor note from Dr. Mayow confirms that they are no longer contagious. Well, guess what? All of these women that either retired or stopped doing guys all of a sudden miraculously showed back up in the adult business a couple months later. Remy LaCroix never retired. She just stayed away for a couple months. Just long enough, I would suspect, for all of the medicines and, of course, for the industry to stop testing for syphilis. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, to go work on a set, you don't have to have a syphilis test. You don't have to have a hepatitis C test. All of those protocols have been thrown out the window. Right now, all you need is an HIV test from Talent Testing or Cutting Edge, and that's it. Nobody gives a fuck about a syphilis test. Nobody gives a fuck about a hep C test. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't fucking matter. And so, of course, when all of this died down, you see people like Remy LaCroix, Andy Sandemus, all these girls either start doing guys again or get right back in the business, because of course you don't have to walk around with an embarrassing note that says, oh look, I got dosed. No, it doesn't exist anymore. And we showed the world that Mr. Marcus had indeed infected infected talent on set with syphilis when Christian Mann, Diane Duke, and Free Speech Coalition swore to everybody that he never infected one person. We showed everybody that that was a lie. We showed everybody that was a lie. And guess what? Guess what? Nobody has said anything about it. Nobody has done anything about it. And it's something that eventually got swept under the rug. So syphilis and the fact that it is in this business, was in the business, and more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, while all this is going on, you had a guy by the name of Clover. Who came down with syphilis, but then didn't come down with syphilis. He didn't come down with syphilis. He didn't come down with syphilis. Basically, you had a kid who was friends with Mr. Marcus, and one testing facility said he had syphilis. One testing facility said he didn't have syphilis. And at the end of the day, you had talent that was diagnosed with syphilis, and it was bumped around, botched around, bucked around so long that at the end of the day, the official prognosis was this person didn't have syphilis. And again, nobody in the industry questioned anything that happened. Nobody cared about anything that happened. And ultimately, you actually had people defending some of these agents like Mark Spiegler and Derek Hay. And it was amazing, coming from the fact that we all know that Mark Spiegler had conversations with Mr. Marcus. They had conversations about what happened, considering that a majority of Mark Spiegler's talent was exposed to it. That never came out, but that's all true. And again, when you talk about these agents being such good people, they're not good people. They never were good people. And they are only in this business for themselves because ultimately deals are made with Mr. Marcus, deals are made with Alex Gons that nobody knows about because it doesn't put money in any of these people's pockets. It takes money from their pockets. So in turn, they deal with it internally so that the hysteria doesn't erupt and people don't get worried about their health, which in turn points the finger to people that are supposed to be looking out for them, like your Derek Hayes and your Mark Spieglers. So it was amazing for me to look at the whole syphilis incident and the fact that nobody's ever spoke on it, ever. And what happened subsequently later on. And we ain't talking about when Marcus did the parade. We're talking about all of the evidence that came out after. Just the fact that everybody swore that Marcus didn't infect anybody, and the fact that we produced a doctor note from Mayow that said otherwise. That alone should have invoked ire from everybody. But it didn't, because that would have meant the people would have had to deal with an issue that they didn't want to deal with, which was the fact that there were tons of talent that were infected and nobody did anything to stop it. So that was a interesting story that still has never been really rectified or talked about, to the point where it was just this past weekend where Mr. Marcus was hosting a party with Lexington Steel that I entitled the Bug Chasing Party. at a place called Infusion, and that is in it was in City Walk. So that's something that, again, you look at and say, how the fuck can this person even be near the business, let alone be having parties that is promoting getting talent to come down, and it's being promoted in AVN and XBiz, and it's just sad. It's sad, sad, sad. But it's something that will never, ever get discussed because, again, it would expose a lot of people like Christian Mann and Diane Duke and Free Speech Coalition, and these are things that it just really can't happen. It would destroy the fabric of what this industry is built on, which is lies and deceit and manipulation and basically people that are only in it for one thing, and that's to line their pockets with money. So that issue was something that we never saw any type of resolution on, that I found incredibly telling. Another issue that was prevalent in the business that we never ever talked about again, and it's something that I would say we talked about until Jesus Christ. We talked about it to try to get dialogue from anybody that had a important position in the adult business, and we couldn't get a fucking word from anybody. And that was a pedophile that was doing business in the adult world named Kurt Bracco, or Kurt Treptow. And he was somebody that did business with Free Speech Coalition. It was somebody that is stationed out of Las Vegas. It's somebody that was speaking on adult industry panels. And this person is a convicted pedophile, child rapist / child pornographer. He ran an elaborate child pornography, child rape organization up in, I think it was, as funny as it sounds, I think it was in Ukraine, believe it or not. I think it was in Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. And this person was basically outed by a girl that's in our business, Alexandra, and she outed this Kurt Bracco, Kurt Treptow, as being exactly what he is, a fucking monster. And so, let me see. Romanian. Basically, he, if you go to, Google, and you click on Google, you will see story after story about Kurt Treptow. and the history of this man. And it's from BBC News. These aren't little stories that were made up out of the fucking blue. Basically, he was an American historian that was jailed in Romania for over, I think, he served about 5 years of a 7-year sentence for basically fucking kids and making child pornography. So this man was basically outed, and he was working in the adult business. He was part of the Libertarian Party of Las Vegas, which when they found out who he was, got rid of him, and it made political news. He worked with a bunch of porn people in our business on different seminars. He was a regular fixture that was doing business with an attorney named Mark Randazza, who is out of Las Vegas, and it just happens to be that Kurt Treptow is out of Las Vegas. He did work with Julie Meadows. He did work with Diane Duke. And we subsequently found out that he was a speaker on one of the adult trade show panels called XBiz. And XBiz had a trade show, not this past year, but the year before. And Kurt Bracco, spoke on a panel. So he was a known speaker that was also a pedophile, a child pornographer, somebody that you would think this adult industry would clear and stay away from. And we questioned how XBiz could do business with a pedophile, and word through the grapevine was, how would they have known what the guy had done in his past, which I always found incredibly, naive to say, and I found it an extreme cop-out. And if this was any other business, or I should say, if this was outside of this little bubble called porn that we work and live in, XBiz would never have gotten away with it, because any type of seminars, panels, anything like that that is organized in the mainstream world, for an organizer to have certain people speak on those panels, they generally have a background history of the people that they are having speak. And ultimately, no mainstream organization would have let a convicted child rapist and pedophile slip through the cracks and speak on one of their panels. It would never have happened. Not somebody that's been featured in the BBC, that's been featured even as recently as being ostracized from the Nevada Libertarian Party. These things would never have happened, but XBiz, through the grapevine, somehow got out of taking any responsibility and saying they don't control, or how should they know who speaks on their panels. And then it moved on to a Free Speech Coalition, and Diane Duke and Christian Mann, Mark Randazza, and Julie Meadows, all four of them having a seminar in Las Vegas that was hosted by Kurt Bracco. That Kurt Treptow, a.k.a. Kurt Bracco, not only hosted it, but he paid for the event, and he paid each of those people a sum to talk on this panel in Las Vegas. And all of these prominent adult workers, Mark Randazza, who's a prominent lawyer, Christian Mann, Julie Meadows, Diane Duke, all of these people are predominantly well-spoken, educated, and yet they all played Iggy. They all played stupid when it came to the exposure of people saying that guy's a pedophile, that guy's a child fucker, and all four of those people basically said, we didn't know. How would we have known? We don't know anything. And again, you sit there and say to yourself, how do you not know, or how do you not investigate, especially somebody like this Mark Randazza, who is a prominent lawyer that I see in newspaper articles, that is doing court cases with H. Lewis Sirkin, who is my attorney. And this person, Mark Randazza, is being invited and paid to speak on a panel in Las Vegas by somebody that fucks kids and went to prison for over 5 years for fucking kids and making child pornography. And how, as a prominent, successful lawyer, do you claim you knew nothing about this guy's background? One would think if a stranger approached you out of the blue and said, hi, my name's Kurt Treptow, and I am part of this Libertarian Party, and I'm part of this action committee, and I want to have these events because I believe in what the adult industry is fighting for, and I would like you to speak on it. Here's my card. When you get a chance, why don't you think about it and get back to me? One would imagine that an attorney like Mark Randazza would get this business card and go, let me do some background check on this gentleman. Let me figure out who he is. Let me see exactly what he has going on. And one quick check on the internet would have revealed that this guy, Kurt Treptow, Kurt Bracco, was a convicted child pornographer, a convicted pedophile. And then in turn, you call him up and politely decline to be associated with his organization and speaking on his panel. And now Mark Randazza could have done that. Diane Duke sure the fuck could have done that. And Christian Mann could have done that. Julie Meadows, well, Julie Meadows is an ignorant porn chick. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, being she only knows one thing, and that's sucking on a dick for about $50 to $100. Other than that, she has no other skills except, of course, I think sitting around with her boyfriend and talking about guns. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but the other people that all have college educations, that all have professed their intelligent level with different degrees, come on. Come on, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this not for 1 week, not for 2 weeks, not for 3 weeks. I think we talked about it for a month. And never once did Mark Randazza talk about it. Never once did Diane Duke talk about it. And never once did Christian Mann talk about it. Never once did any of these people ever talk about it. And the only thing that ever happened, okay, was you had Mike South, who does business with Mark Randazza. Mike South, who is friends with Julie Meadows. Mike South, who gets his pockets lined in different ways basically defended all of these people by saying that the conference and the seminar that they did in Vegas was nothing more than basically a chance luncheon. He described it as something that was like people being at the right times or the wrong times in the right places, or basically like, oh, I just ran into a pedophile. Oh, hey, how you doing? Okay, see you later. That is how Mike South commented on it one time and spun it to benefit his friends and basically get them out of the fact that they knowingly had information about this guy's pedophilia, this guy's child raping, well in the past. And for them to do anything whatsoever with him was downright wrong. But you had Mike South defend it as saying, oh, they just happened to be at a luncheon, and they just kind of, you know, fucked up by that. It was nothing major. This is all to do about nothing. And so that was the extent of the industry talking about a convicted child fucker, a pedophile, somebody that basically, if the normal, let's put it this way, in normal society, you have Senator Lamar Alexander, his aide, got in trouble for possessing child pornography. You know what he did? He did the noble thing and hung himself. He wasn't fucking kids. He just happened to have movies with kids in them, and he knew his life was fucking over. So what he did was he hung himself. In the real world, outside of this porn bubble we live in, people take child fucking seriously. People take child pornography seriously. Okay? And trust me, this senator's aide, who basically hung himself, he did that because he knew he was fucked. And he knew there was no life for him. He knew that anybody outside of the porn world would have ostracized him and never forgave him. But in our business, the adult business, you could fuck kids and sell child pornography, and our business will forgive you. Our business will say you're one of us. You're a swell guy. That's pretty amazing. That is pretty fucking amazing. It really is, you guys. Time and time again, if you look in the real world, you could see anytime there is a pedophile, anytime there is a child pornographer, those people either wind up killing themselves or are ostracized so much. I mean, guys, look at Jerry Sandusky. Everybody associated with that Jerry Sandusky case has basically been ostracized. Joe Paterno forever is known as the coach that let one of his own fuck kids. As much as you're a Penn State Nittany Lion fan, Joe Paterno fan, you know it, I know it, that forever, A, Penn State is labeled as a fucking child fucker school. B, Joe Paterno is a guy who promoted child fucking because all accounts state he knew Sandusky was fucking kids. And C, all the assistant coaches, especially the one coach who walked by and actually literally saw Sandusky showering with little kids and never fucking said nothing. That is what Penn State is forever going to be known for. That is just what happens when you fuck kids. It's not looked at kindly in mainstream media and in the mainstream world. But our business, the adult business, Diane Duke, Mark Randazza, Free Speech Coalition, they do business with a child pornographer, a pedophile, and they are completely fine with it. They are cool with it, and they've never spoke on it to this day. They've never spoken on it. And if they were in the mainstream world, all of them would be fucking thrown out of whatever organization they were in. Can you imagine if this wasn't porn and this was Hollywood? Randazza would be in the poorhouse. Christian Man, poorhouse. Diane Duke, all of them would be fucking in the poorhouse. Randazza, every one of his clients would have fucking dropped them. Every one of his clients would have dropped them. Diane Duke would have been thrown out of the committees that she was part of. Christian Man would have been fired. Imagine if that was Hollywood. Christian Man, instead of Evil Angel, he was in charge of Paramount, or he was in charge of fucking Disney. Gone. Randazza, instead of being a fucking shuckster lawyer for a bunch of loser porn people, instead he was a lawyer for Brad Pitt and fucking Angelina Jolie. Guess what? He'd be right now chasing fucking ambulances. He'd be doing what he's doing now if he was in fucking Hollywood. And fucking all of his Hollywood clients went, hey bro, you sat on a fucking panel and got money from a guy who fucks kids? Well, I didn't know. Bullshit. You're supposed to be a fucking lawyer that represents million-dollar clients. You didn't know that some guy who approached you and wanted to do business with you was a child fucker? But goodbye. Fuck you. Hollywood would have fucking buried Randazza. Fucking buried him. And fucking Julie Meadows, if she was an actress in Hollywood, they would have said, you're done. You go do porn, honey, because you will never get a fucking job in this fucking town. Shit. Look at Mel Gibson. That guy fucking said some shit about Jews. Hasn't gotten a fucking job since. You think you're going to go and hang around with someone who fucks kids? And you're going to be fucking working on Beverly Hills 90210, the next fucking generation? Get the fuck out of here. You're going to be out the door. You're going to be gone. Not this business. This business is special. This business is one of them businesses where they do what they want. So that was an interesting case. And it was an interesting 4 weeks when I was we got about 6 video bits. One video bit goes 2.5 hours long. I'm sitting there looking at it going, Jesus, I can't put this up on Roku. It's just too long. People get bored. People will get bored because after the first half hour, they'll be so appalled that these porn people did business with this guy and still do business with the guy. And putting up 5 more bits, they'll now just get annoyed to the point where I'll get people writing me up saying, hey, Rob. People will be writing me up going, hey, man, what the fuck? You after fucking 10 hours, people still do business with this fucking guy? And when I say 10 hours, people say after 10 hours of speaking about this guy, people still do business with him? Yeah. People be amazed. Literally, people would be fucking amazed. So, yeah, they do. So, that was a fucking story that, again, when I go through and I go, how the fuck do I whittle this down to a, you know, how do I whittle this down to something that won't be 10 hours of a constant barrage? I even think there's more than 10 hours. Might be more than 10 hours. But that's up there. And I think Tom Byron wrote maybe 8, 9 stories about it. I don't even know how many, but there's a lot of fucking stories. It's tons. Tons. So, that never been talked about, never been resolved, and never commented, nothing. Amazing. Amazing when I tell you. And like I said, I sit here and my desktop is just flooded with things that are stories that I have to go through and say, okay, this is acceptable. You know, this we can put up, this we can, this is, you know, too much, this is it's fucking too long, and again, those are 3 stories that really are a non-talking points. And we haven't even gotten to the disease. We haven't even gotten to the goddamn disease in the business. We haven't even gotten to how many people in a stretch of, Jesus Christ, 5 months, 4 HIV cases in 5 months. And the fact that Free Speech Coalition, Diane Duke, none of them did anything about it except spout off the same bullshit that we've heard time and time again. Same shit. It was amazing. Fucking amazing. Just amazing. So, what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is eloquently. And when I say eloquently, we're going to say, hey, can we have something that is normally only reserved for...
I want all the ham. 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 I want all the ham.
Yeah. So listen, we're going to take a break. That signifies our break, and then we go into our break with, of course, something then that I want all that. That's the breaker. When we come back, we're going to talk about kink.com and exactly what is going on there. I've got 8 stories about them that we've never had any resolution on, and I found it incredibly entertaining. So we're going to take a break for about 5 minutes to 6 minutes. You're going to listen to Stinky Armenians. That's what you're going to listen to. But first, we always have a word from our friend Louis. We call him Louis Fair. And this is the man.
Rothschild and Paul Warburg. No money to hit them.
killed little Jews. While Rothschild and Walker stayed in the finest hotels in Europe. If you can't call Rothschild anti-Semitic and Walker an anti-Semite, and don't you open your mouth against it. Thank you, Louie. Thank you, Louie. And we'll be right back. Listen to Stinky Armenians. And we'll be back in a second. Woo. I just returned from 7-Eleven. I did. And I gotta ask you guys, and I know when I say this, everybody's gonna say I'm being racist or bigoted or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. But maybe some of you can help me in this. I was at 7-Eleven, and as I was in line, a gentleman came up next to me, and he happened to be of Armenian descent. How do I know that? Because I have some friends that are Armenian. And I'm not being stereotyped when I say that. If I said he looked Middle Eastern, my Armenian friends would get upset at me. But he did. He definitely was Armenian. Now, my question is this. I was not able to literally stand next to him for more than it took for me to complete my transaction, because any longer I would have died of a lack of oxygen to my brain, because he smelled like a cheap cologne that was so strong that it literally made the pepper spray that I got doused with 2 weeks ago during a fight on the streets of Lancaster. That I literally could not breathe the fumes from this Armenian kid's cologne. I literally was standing like this, and I put my vitamin water up on the counter, and out of the corner of my eye, I can see somebody walking up to the 7-Eleven door. And as he opens the door, the fumes from the cologne literally was like gas fumes. I'm telling you, it was a chemical. It was a chemical attack. I was attacked by an Armenian chemical bomb, a dirty Armenian bomb. And I literally, out of the corner of my eye, seen that door open, and the chemicals of that cologne waft, literally just waft, and I was like, oh, Jesus. And I'm like, oh, God, please don't. And as he started to approach me, I could feel my skin burning. That is how strong the cologne was from my Armenian pal. And I know what it's like to get hit with a chemical attack, like the people in Syria. I know what it's like to have chemical burns. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if none of you are from Los Angeles, have never been in the company of an Armenian, fully drenched in cologne. It is something that goes beyond. It goes beyond the rules of engagement in a battle. It goes beyond the Geneva Conference. You want to talk about those pictures of the children running around in Hiroshima, naked with their bodies burning from the atomic bomb that we dropped on them? It's nothing. And if I did not get out of 7-Eleven as fast as I did and run back here to the office and douse my body with water, I would have made the small girls in Hiroshima look like school children on a foggy day plane in the year 2014. I swear to God, as I sat there and I waited for the Pakistani to ring up my vitamin water, and next to me, this Armenian fellow, and he gave me a smile, and I said, oh, Jesus Christ. Now the hookah vapor that is immencing from your mouth mixed with the cologne, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking melt right fucking here. I'm gonna look like the Nazis from the Raiders of the Lost Ark when the cover of the Ark is lifted and they look at the stick and their faces fucking melt. I'm gonna fucking melt right here. And I look at him and I literally, like I'm smelling a bad, horrific fart, or my nose is right up to a can of gasoline, and I go, and I turn back, and even the Pakistani guy, the owner of the 7-Eleven, is looking at me like this. And for a Pakistani to be fucking overwhelmed with stench from an Armenian's cologne, that is serious stench. Because Pakistanis smell like dog shit mixed with 8-week-old dog shit, and if you put that smell together and wrapped it up in a white bag, you would get what a Pakistani smells like. And that's every day for that motherfucker. And he was overwhelmed by the Armenian stink that was fucking coming at him. And together, we were both looking at each other. And now he was going as fast as he could to ring me up because he knew as quick as I got out of there, he could ring up this chemical bomb that was standing next to me. And he could get the chemical bomb out. He could then close down the fucking store and radio in for fucking help from the National Guard and saying that 7-Eleven on Lancashire has just been struck by a biological fucking weapon. So my question is this. At what point in the puberty stage of an Armenian's life did they get told that covering their entire body from head to toe with the smelliest, most pungent cologne is sexy? And what Armenian girl besides Kim Kardashian and that band of gypsies actually hang out with Armenian men and go, oh, you smell very good. That smell you have is very good. It makes the paint from my fingernails chip off. It's so good. It's so smelling good. Come, let me get in your BMW and let's drive away, please. Keep the windows up because I want to feel what the Jews felt like when they were being gassed in World War II. Please, please, I want to know what a biological weapon, a dirty bomb, is. Please, my Armenian prince, keep the windows up. Keep it up, please. Cover yourself in more cologne. I need to smell it even more. ooh, 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 it smells so good. Please, please, please. Am I being bigoted? I don't think so. Because everybody right now who's listening to me, at one point or another, is trying to eat it. Because just like smelling your own farts. You know when you're sitting there and you fart, and you just sit there and you still watch TV, and your girlfriend comes over and she's like, hey baby, oh fuck, Jesus Christ, and you're like, what, man? And she's like, what the fuck died around you? And you're like, well, I don't even fucking smell it. She's like, you don't smell the death that just creeped out of your ass? And you're like, nah, I don't smell it. I got to imagine that an Armenian has that same thing, that them sitting there in that stink, they think nothing of it. So, unless you're not an Armenian, you don't know what I'm talking about. So all my non-Armenian fans, you know what I'm fucking talking about. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. That was why are Armenians so goddamn smelly. Again, we're not being bigoted. We're not being racist. We're being truthful. That's how we are here at the Rob Black Show. We point out those subtle truths. We point out those subtle truths that everybody asks themselves, but they're afraid to say out in public, afraid to say out to anybody. We say the things that people are afraid to just say because they'll get in trouble. But here at the Rob Black Show, we just say it because how much more trouble can we really get into? So that's the real question. How much trouble could we possibly really get more into? Can't really get any more trouble. We are exactly in the trouble of trouble. So it's the Rob Black Show. Anyways, I was just outside conversating with Tom Byron after I took a shit. That's what I had to do, ladies and gentlemen. I had to take a fucking shit. Okay? Last night, I went back to my workout regimen, and I know 100% I can't miss days of working out. I told Summers this. I said I cannot go and do the give your body a day or two to recover. I can't do it. It fucks with my head mentally and makes me fucking nuts and more fucking emo and gets me all fucking depressed. And it fucks with my asshole. Fucks with my digestive tract. It fucks with my way my sphincter maneuvers. And it doesn't keep me regular. The routine that I have is I work here, and then at say about midnight or 1 in the morning, and depending on if I can get out of here at a certain level and how quick I'm done with the work, I go to Katie's house and I hit the gym and I do fucking presses. First I start on the one of those machines that you're pedaling. So you're up like this and you're moving these fucking bars. Madon, it's a fucking pisser. But I put it on 12 and I go for 15 minutes. And it burns 212 calories. That's what it winds up doing. So I do that, and then after that, I go and do my tricep. These things right here. So I fucking I do that fucking thing. And then I do the curls. It's like, I do this whole routine. And normally when I get done and I'm like, fucking, yeah. When I fucking get done on this round, when the security guy comes walking through, I know he specifically goes in to make sure people aren't getting killed because I start screaming rape. I do. I'm gonna admit it to you right now. I started screaming rape, and it's quite disturbing, but I do. And so what I do is I'll start fucking, and on the last rep, in my fucking arms, and I'm like this, and I'm just like, I want to fucking rape! And fucking, there's little Katie in the corner with her little weights, and she's like this, and she goes, what are you screaming? I go, fuck! I want to fucking rape someone right now, man. I just want to fucking just rape! Oh, man, it's rape! That fucking, that's why I have to work out at night, because if it was during the day, I get thrown out of there. I'm surprised I don't get thrown out of there now. And then I'll go and I'll fucking get on the ab machine, and I'm fucking crunching, and I'll be like, rape! Rape! And I get done, and I'm like, oh, I want to fucking rape! And no matter where Katie is, she just was like, why are you just screaming about rape? And because I don't know any other horrific word. I can't, chemical bomb doesn't sound right. Fucking, nuclear waste. I want to cut your throat. None of that sound. That's the fucking, it sounds good. And then I point out to her, remember, hon, I go, remember that the documentary we saw. And ladies and gentlemen, I talked about this last night on the night show. There's this documentary that is called, I always forget what the fucking thing is called. It was called The Bible Told Me So, or The Bible Told Me to Do It. Something like that. Let me see if I can find it. Patrick gave it to me. Yeah, I lost it. Anyways, it's a documentary about the Bible. And we did it the afternoon. What am I talking? You fuckers that listen to me in the afternoon. You guys listen to me about the Bible. And it's about how they hate gays and all these things. And one thing I forgot to talk about during the day was they have a whole segment on rape. And the fact that, and we did this last night on the night show, and it talks about how the ultimate violent act on a human being, and I'm not talking about a woman, the ultimate violent act on a man from another man would be rape. Swear to God. And that they don't classify it as gay. And I've often said that, and I said it last night, that I would have debates with people, and I said, as long as you're beating the shit out of somebody and raping them, again, not a woman, I'm talking about a man. If I get like Christian man, and I'm raping his fat ass, and I'm punching him in his fucking head while I'm fucking him in his ass, and I'm fucking punching him on the side of his face like that, it's not gay. It's committing the most heinous of acts you could perpetrate on another man, which A, is violence, because you're punching them, and B, you're demasculizing them by making them a girl. very American History X-ish. So you're basically saying, you're my bitch, you're my dog, and I'm going to take away every aspect of man pride you have. No different than when you see football movies and you have all the players lined up and the coach says, you know, we're going to go out there in the second half and we're going to win. And you guys are going to have to play like men, not like a bunch of girls, like a bunch of sissies. The concept has always been when another man refers to you as a woman, as a sissy, that is the ultimate act of humiliation. So, of course, when another man is raping you, forcibly sticking his penis inside you, okay? When he's fucking your asshole and fucking you up your ass, he's taking away every man and masculinity you have. Ultimately, there's no worse feeling than that. That's why in prison when I was there, if you called somebody a bitch, called somebody a punk, it was the worst. So ultimately, when I'm sitting there and I'm basically working out and I'm fucking doing my thing, and I fucking get so amped up, I just start screaming rape. That's what I do. I start screaming fucking rape. And it's like a war cry. It's like, you know, like fucking rape! I wanna fucking rape! I wanna fucking rape. That's what I feel. Like at the height of working out, if Christian Man was there, I would run up behind him, start punching him in the back of his fucking head, and I would be raping him. I would fucking rape him. I would rape him until he shits blood for a fucking hour. Literally. That's exactly what I would be doing. That's how fucking pumped up I get. And I couldn't even imagine if I was all fucking juiced up on fucking steroids. If I was juiced up on fucking steroids, oh my God, forget about it. If I had some fucking testosterone kicking inside my fucking body, I literally would just be out of control. Seriously. If I went to the doctor and got on that fucking testosterone shit and got like the patches to put on, and I got a little testosterone kick, oh my God, forget about it. Seriously, it'd be bad fucking news. Bad news. Because I'd be just fucking, I don't know, it'd be bad. It'd be bad. Again, we're not talking about women, okay? We're not talking about the raping of women. But guys, forget about it. Christian Man definitely would be raped. Jerry Estrada, even though he weighs about 430 fucking pounds, and I'd have to get like fish hooks, reinforced fish hooks, and put one on either side of his ass cheeks, and have chains spread open his ass so I wasn't fucking his fleshy butt, his fleshy cheeks, and I could penetrate and rape the asshole. Done. Forget about it. Adam Hasner, oh, forget about it. I'd be taking turns raping him with my dick and my fucking fist at the same time. So I would go rape and then fist him and then punch him in his fucking head, donkey punch him right in the back of his fucking head. So it'd be like a 1, 2, 3 combination. It'd be like a Floyd Mayweather of rape. I'd be like boom, boom, and then boom, just like that. Just real, just like it said, be boom, 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 just across the top like that. And it'd just be boom, 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 boom. Just I'd be fisting, donkey punching, ass raping, and just be fucking one after another. He'd be sitting in a fucking corner crying hysterically, crying, just tears, and just playing in his own shit and blood. That's what he'd be doing. It's horrible, guys. It's horrible. So we better make sure I never get on any of that testosterone shit, because it would not be good. There would be a lot of rape going on. A lot of fucking rape. It's how it is. It's fucking. Sometimes they got the machine where I do the curls. You know, the curls with the weight, and you put your arms on the padding, and you just get it up, and you're just like that, just doing this. Oh my God, forget about it. After like the second rep, I'm screaming fucking rape on everything. I'm just like, rape, rape, rape. It's fucking crazy. Just rape. That's all it is fucking rape. So, I have to continue to work out. I can't take these breaks and let my body chill down. Even if it's just going on, I'm going to have to, even if it's just going on, I told Katie, even if it's not lifting, even if it's just to go on the mountain, like I'm fucking skiing, that fucking thing, whatever the fuck that thing is called. Even if it's just that for 20 minutes, then that's what it's got to be. But I can't stop working out, because if I stop working out, I can't shit properly. I can't do a fucking thing properly. Seriously, I can't. Fucking 20 minutes ago, I went in the bathroom. It was nice. I went in, the shit came out properly. Everything was good. If I'm not working out and I'm not getting all my protein, I'm all bound up like someone shoved a fucking cork up my ass. I can't do this. It's not working for me, okay? It's not fucking good. So even if it's just doing the mountain bike thing like one of them fucking fags, I gotta fucking do that, because working out is a no-go. I gotta fucking work out every day. And with that comes rape. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I had to interrupt our important conversations with rape and shitting, but I felt it was important to let all of you understand how my body works. All right. It's the Rob Black Show, guys, and as always, it is approaching the third hour. Actually, I think we're in the third hour. It's 2:06 right now. It's exactly 2:06 p.m. And we are talking about rape. We're talking about shitting, and we just came out of talking about why it is being extremely difficult for me to put together the Roku bits, because there's been so many bits we've done about so many things that have been unresolved. And when I say unresolved, from the pedophile of Kurt Trupto to the syphilis to the hepatitis C, all these things have not been put together and talked about or worked out. So it's kind of like I'm literally looking at. Let me explain to you. I'm looking at, and you're gonna laugh, but I'm looking at. God, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm looking at 8 stories just on Kurt Treptow, the pedophile, and Free Speech Coalition, Diane Duke, Christian man not doing a thing. Like when I say the stories, you got I got the artwork we've made, and it's just a plethora of stories. I have this story. Mike South has the back of super bitch Derek Hagan. Is he the top or bottom? I mean, literally, I've got those stories because remember when we were talking about Latata and Derek Hay and that whole organization and what they did, and basically the concept that Mike South would put ads on his site for Latata and then tell everybody how Derek Hay was such a great guy and how he was the best agent in the world. And so, I mean, we got all these stories. And all these stories are being put together that are in a book. And now, you know, we have 2 books that are out right now. One book called Extreme Thoughts by Rob Black. It's on Amazon. It's on iBook. It's on Nook. It's on Kindle. And we also have the second book, which is Drink the Kool-Aid, which is the same thing. It's on iBook. It's on Kindle. It's on all of that. And if you go to those sites and purchase the book or even see samples, they're really about current events, political stories, stories about my life, and we have not put together the adult book. And actually, as we speak, Tom Byron has been putting together a 30-story to 35-page story, or page, 35 story, probably 150-page book of nothing but the adult business and all the stories that we've ever done from the adult business. And again, this is what we've been doing all week because the Roku channel is going to have this. And what I mean by that is you'll be able to click on the Roku and be able to read parts of the book. And it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty fascinating. And it will be quite entertaining, to say the least. So again, well, that's why all of these stories have been coming up and kind of walk down memory lanes, because not Carla Lane, not that fat motherfucker, but memory lanes, and going through and seeing all of these stories that I forgot about that we just don't talk about because nobody really gives a shit or nobody cares anymore. And it was just amazing that all of the Derek Hay stories, the fact that Derek Hay, I reported, was getting his ass thrown out of the Vivid building, and on top of getting his ass thrown out of the Vivid building, was fleeing to Las Vegas, running scared like a little whore bitch. And of course, no one talked about it, and or more importantly, Mike South reported on his blog site that that was a lie, that was bullshit, and subsequently we found out that number one, Derek Hay did get thrown out of Vivid building. He's not there. And number two, he did run and move to Vegas because he's a bitch. Okay. Again, nobody talked about that. Nobody wanted to touch it with a 10-foot pole except us. But we did. And subsequently, it's been swept under all the rugs. So these stories have been really amazing, and they've been incredibly, mind-opening. Listen, you guys got to understand, we do 5 hours a day. So we do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, you got 25 hours, but you got to figure we probably do an extra 2 between going over. We probably do 27 hours a week. If you think about it, we probably do about 27 hours of show a week. So out of that 27 hours, think about 27 hours. We basically do a 24-hour straight. Imagine 24 hours in a day. We basically do 27 hours of nothing but we literally do a story or a show. God damn. Think about it. We do 27 hours. So that's 24 hours of just straight show. Imagine if we were just on the air for 24 hours. That's what we do. And we talk about everything. Everything from arena football in the beginning to Dancing with Stars and the girl with no fucking legs. I got no legs. Talked about her last night. Even to the guy that looks like a lizard or was on the show like a year ago, the crispy guy. Now, all of those things get sandwiched in with pornography and about what goes on in the porn business and who's who and who's what. So we then do 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Jesus Christ. Then we probably do between 10 and 12 stories that we put up on Adult FYI a week. And that's just what you guys get. That doesn't include more stories that you guys have never even fucking seen. Because that's what goes in the books. So if you go to Drink the Kool-Aid, every one of those stories that are on Drink the Kool-Aid are stories that none of you have ever fucking seen. Not one of those stories have we ever put on Adult FYI or the ROB Black Show.com. Never. And we've got another book that Tom Byron is putting together along with the porn book that will probably be done and ready this weekend. And that book is entitled All Right, Good Night. Yes, if some of you don't know where that's from, those are the last words that were spoken by the Malaysian airliner before it went missing 13 days ago. And the quote is, all right, good night. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the newest title for the newest ROB Black book that will be out this weekend exclusively on iTunes, iNook, iBook, iFuck, iRape, iFuck. Every form that you can get an online book, that is where you can purchase it at. And it is entitled All Right, Good Night by ROB Black. And that will be the third book in the trilogy of the RobBlackShow.com. So, again, looking at all these stories, it just makes you go, wow, look at all this stuff that we've talked about. Like fucking legalized prostitution, Sherry's Ranch. Is that the future? I mean, literally, fucking, Nina Hartley. And this is a story that we still never gotten any talk back on. The APAC, the Adult Performer Advocacy Committee. We did a little story on that. Oh, God. Was it a week ago? 2 weeks ago? And asked everybody, where the fuck was that at? Where the fuck was the APAC? And the fact that it started with Nina Hartley, and it started with their website, which, you know what? How's that fucking website? We haven't even been on that in like a week. Are they still doing nothing? As of the last time we were there, they hadn't updated, they hadn't done a thing. And it was basically just a joke. And when you go there now, let's see if it's still the same joke. Yeah, still the same joke. If you guys go to the APAC-USA.com, it's still from December 16th, 2014. December 15th, 2014, December 14th, 2014. So they are basically the exact same thing they were, which is bullshit. Okay, well, hey, God bless them. I guess the scam didn't work to donate money to Kimberly Kane. Didn't work. I guess getting her money for her rent was not too fucking successful. Oh well. All right. Good night. There you go. There's your Adult Performers Advocacy Committee. And then they actually had a conversation or a press release where Jessica Drake and Chanel Preston were actually having these special meetings the first Sunday of every month. But of course that went nowhere, and you heard nothing of the meetings. Nothing. It was bullshit. So that is a story that I was looking at. I mean, all of this stuff is just amazing. Seriously, it was just all amazing. And basically, it makes you laugh at the business and exactly all of the people that are involved with it, and where the fuck they're going and what they're doing and what they're talking about and what they're about and who they're lining the pockets with money for. It's just amazing, man. It really is fucking amazing. So I think we'll talk more about these stories tomorrow. Today we touched on the 3 diseases and the 3 issues that nobody talks about. And I think we're going to move on to something that I was thinking about when I was showering today. Now that means I was washing my balls. When I was scrubbing up my nuts real good, and I was scrubbing them good. Seriously, I was scrubbing these motherfuckers good. I was giving them a real good rub-a-dub-dub. I was fucking making them good. I was making them be special. I was making them smell nice. Maybe when I see Katie Summers later, I'll take my nuts and I'll plop them right in her fucking mouth. Or maybe I won't. I'm not real sure. But I definitely am going to leave the option open. I'm going to leave that option open to plop my nuts in her mouth. So I was wondering this morning, and I was thinking maybe Tom Byron will do out a tweet for me, or maybe I will send out an Instagram. That way I'll make it more personal. Maybe I'll do a video Instagram. I think I'm going to fucking do a video Instagram. I might just start doing video Instagrams to everybody. And I was wondering this morning. Do you think I could get a lunch date? Like a mandate, okay? What do you think of this, guys? And I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this today. If it's successful, you guys will know. But I'm going to try a mandate and see if Brad Armstrong will go out to lunch with me. I am. I'm have you ever seen that the movie with Jason Segel and Paul Rudd? They're like the Man Bros, and they're like at the Rush concert doing Limelight, living on a lighted stage, and they're jamming. I'm gonna see if Brad Armstrong will go out on a mandate with me. That's what I'm gonna see. Just me and him, nobody else. No Jessica, no Tom Byron, no Katie Summers, no little whores, no fat girls. Just me and Brad. Just a mandate. That's all. And I'm gonna see if he will go on a mandate, and we will go to not somewhere overly nice, not somewhere like the Ivy, but not something too shitty like Denny's. Something that's right in the middle, maybe like an Applebee's, or something like a Wood Ranch, something like that. And you're going to say, Rob, why were you thinking about a mandate with Brad Armstrong? And I'll tell you why. Because this morning when I was lathering up my balls, again, lathering up my balls had no reference of Brad Armstrong or going out on a date. I just happen to think the most when I'm lathering up my balls because it puts me in a state of staring at the shower wall, and I'm still half asleep. And I know some of you have done this, okay? And you got your bar of soap, and you're rubbing yourself with the bar of soap, and then you get to your ball and cock, your cock and ball area, and for some reason, your cock and ball area are like, it's almost like they're a steering wheel, or they're a stick shift. And when you're lathering up your cock and balls, it's almost like you're not jerking off, but it's almost like you're just kind of getting your arm flow going. You're getting the circulation to your arms working. And so you're fixated on your cock and balls for maybe 2 minutes. Not to the point where the thing gets hard, where you can fucking chop down trees with it, but just where you're making sure it's still alive. You're making sure that the thing is still working. You're making sure that it's still operational. It's still functioning. It's not in distress in any way. You didn't sleep on it wrong and crush one of your sack nuts, nothing. And I often get into a daze. I kind of get into a trance, almost like a tantra. And I'll stare off into the wall and my mind starts to go. My brain starts to think of what I got to do that day. And I start to think about the website I got to work on. And then I think about the goddamn house, and I got to fucking take out the fucking trash because we had fish last night and nobody took out the trash, and the fucking house smells like a fucking dirty pussy that's been getting fucking abused by 17 derelicts in a fucking whorehouse. And I think to myself, all of these issues are pretty horrible. And it's just like I said, it's not a jerk. It's more like, you know, and I pull the sack, because sometimes the sack is real tight, and I'll pull the sack so it stretches, so it's like stretch nuts, and I'll pull the fucking sack, and I'll inside my groin area, and I'll be rubbing there, making sure there's no fucking tumas or anything like that. So this happens, and I'm thinking about the fish I gotta throw away. I'm thinking about Katie Summers is out in West Hollywood getting her fucking hair done, okay? She's out with one of her friends today getting her fucking hair done. Yeah, 2 chicks in West Hollywood, all the faves, and she's getting her fucking hair done. And then I'm thinking about the website. I'm thinking about Roku. I'm thinking about why it takes such a long time to upload all this fucking content. And then I'm thinking about Brad Armstrong. I'm thinking about Brad Armstrong, and I'm thinking, why the fuck he has not announced working on a new movie? And why is it that the newest thing that I seen that was coming out from Wicked was an Axel Braun movie that has Brad Armstrong's wife playing the evil queen? And I thought to myself, why the fuck is Brad not working on a new epic? Why is Brad not working on a follow-up to Underworld? I'm thinking, what is Brad doing? And I thought to myself, at this point I'm done playing with my cock and cleaning my cock. Now I'm washing my asshole and my feet. Don't ask me why that order, but I have an OCD, so I go from my cock and balls to my asshole, because I don't want my asshole to stink, to my feet. And what I do is I hold myself up to the bathroom wall, take the bar of soap, and I rub it on my feet. Why am I washing my feet when I'm standing in the shower and the water is already cleaning on my feet, just regardless? I don't know. I'm washing my feet as if I'm my own Jesus, okay? How Jesus washed poor people's feet, I'm washing my own feet. So I'm acting as Jesus, and I'm acting as a poor person. So I'm washing my own feet, and then I wash this feet. So while this is happening, and I'm washing my feet, I think to myself, I'd like to call Brad Armstrong right now. If I had Brad Armstrong's phone number, I would call him up and say, Brad, what's going on? You want to go eat later today? What's happening? But I don't have his fucking number. I don't have a communication with Brad. But I think I want to engage in conversation with Brad Armstrong. I think I want to go and see Rush with Brad Armstrong, and we air guitar Limelight. That's what I'm fucking thinking about, okay? Or Working Man. You say I'm a working man. I'm thinking that's what I want. So, what I'm going to do, because as I got out of the shower and I dried my body, okay, and I put on my new shirt, my sweater, okay, and I did up my hair, made it look pretty spiffy. I need a haircut soon, but that's regardless. I said to myself, I'm going to get a hold of Brad Armstrong today. I'm going to do a selfie, and but it would be a video selfie, not a selfie picture, because that might be too gay. Like just smiling and then posting that out saying, hey, Brad, hi. You know, that's gay. That's something a chick would do. I'm going to do more of a video selfie, okay? I'm going to do more of a video